Yes, Mariam, Sana, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
All right,
Yes.
good evening. So, in the last class, we are done with vectors. Let us complete this projectile motion. Mariam, your exam is on 15th of September. Is it starting or the physics paper is on 15th?
No, Miss, mine starts on 26th September.
26th September.
Yeah.
Okay, so, all right. So, when is your physics paper then?
I'm not sure. We did not get the timetable yet. We only know the starting date, and I asked the teacher for physics lessons, so I sent it to the team.
Okay, so till work, energy, and power, it is coming?
Yes, Miss.
Okay. All right. So if 26th is starting, then we do have time. I was told that it's on 15th. Just a minute, Mariam. Let me just inform them. Okay, just wait. Or I'll just
Okay, Miss.
inform them later. Let me start with the class first. So,
Okay, Miss.
Sana, any update about your exam?
Ma'am, my first term examination is going to start on September.
Date?
18th it will start.
Okay. All right. So, for the projectile motion P, first I'll start with angular projection because it is a little difficult in comparison to horizontal. Once you understand this one, then it will be very easy for you to understand the horizontal one. See, I'll just tell you what is meant by projectile motion. There are few conditions. Let's say this is the y-axis, this is the x-axis, this is the origin. So an object is there. Let's say the object is at the origin. And if the object covers a certain path under certain condition, we say the object has covered a projectile motion. This is what is meant by motion in a plane. Motion in 2D means motion in a plane. This means, see, when we talked about motion in a straight line, class, only one of the coordinates changed. Remember, we had either along the y-axis motion under gravity, or an object was moving, the vehicle was moving along a straight line. In both the coordinates will change. X will also change, Y will also change. So it's similar to motion in a straight line only, but two times you have to solve it. You have to solve everything separately along x-axis and separately along y-axis. So let's say a body moves. At the highest point, the body will have an acceleration due to gravity downwards and an acceleration along the x-axis also, like this. When I talk about the velocity, velocity along x-axis will also be there, velocity along y-axis will be there. Like this, if there's an initial velocity of the body, let's say u, it is making some angle theta with the horizontal. So we will split this initial velocity into ux and uy. And from this, ux will be u cos theta, resolution of vectors yesterday we have studied. The adjacent one to the angle receives cos, and this will be u sine theta. Okay, so this is ux, this is u sine theta. So like this, you'll have to solve. Now, when I make the equations, same equations which you studied in motion under gravity, v square minus u square is equal to 2as, s is equal to ut plus half at square, v is equal to u plus at, same equations, but with reference to x-axis separately and y-axis separately. Now, before anything, let me make you see what are the conditions first. Okay. So these are the conditions when we refer to the projectile motion. When we say the body is exhibiting a projectile motion. Along the x-axis, there is no change in the velocity. Along the x-axis means the velocity along the x-axis, which is ux, is u cos theta. This remains constant. Okay, so ux will remain constant. That is, u cos theta will be throughout. So at any point when you take ux, means the component along x-axis, that will remain the same. Then acceleration along the x-axis will be 0 because only under the gravity acceleration is working. So ax will be 0. Now, there's a formula F is equal to ma, which we'll see in the next chapter. So the force along x-axis will also be 0. If these three conditions along x-axis are satisfied, we say projectile motion is there. What about then the y-axis? See, acceleration due to acceleration due to gravity will be occurring. So Ay will be equal to g. So you will have acceleration due to gravity, and therefore a force will also be there. This will be equal to g. So force will be equal to mg. While the velocity at the highest point will be 0. So these are the conditions. When I say the highest point means here. Here at the highest point, the velocity is 0. And we will be forming the equation separately of x-axis and y-axis. Now, let me start with the first one, then you can write down these things. Equation of trajectory means, see, trajectory means the path covered. If I talk about the term trajectory, this means the path covered by the body. Okay, the path covered by the body. This is what is meant by trajectory. So we define certain equations for it. Those equations you have to remember, and these are all derivations. All these are derivations. So see, when I talk about, let's say I talk about the x-axis. So here the initial velocity along the x-axis is u cos theta. Correct? The initial velocity across the x-axis is u cos theta. Now, displacement, okay, one or two things I'll define, or I'll discuss those later. Let's say the displacement along the x-axis we are calculating. All right, time is t, but acceleration across the x-axis is 0. Why? Why is it 0? Remember conditions, the conditions that we saw. Acceleration across the x-axis will be 0. What is the displacement across the x-axis? Let's say it is some x and time is t. So if I use the equation S is equal to ut plus half at square. Now see class, you will be using the same equations which you studied in motion in a straight line. What will be the difference? When I talk about x-axis, everything will be in terms of x, except the time. Time across x and y, you don't have to change. Got it? So when I put all the values in here, see x is this, ux is u cos theta, t is time. Now acceleration is 0, so this whole term for us will be 0. So I can say x is equal to u cos theta t. So you can use these equations while solving, but we are forming certain standardized equation. T is equal to x by u cos theta. Tell me, have you understood till here, all of you? Tahura, you're still not able to hear. Tahura. What about you, Mariam? Are you able to hear?
Miss, I can hear.
You can hear. All right, Tahura. Again, it must be the internet or something. She's still not able to hear. She's, I think, not connected to the audio part. Mariam, is it clear till here? Time is x by u cos theta.
Yes, miss.
Are you getting the conditions and why we are using the same equations?
Yes, miss.
All right. Connected only, then why is she not able to hear? Across the y-axis, when we make the equation, see, uy will be u sine theta. Now, across the y-axis, we'll have to consider it's like motion under gravity. This part is, the first part is the part of the motion in a straight line, which we study across x-axis. This is a part of motion under gravity. And then we finally combine both. So this is exactly similar to your motion in a straight line class. So uy is equal to u sine theta, ay is equal to minus g. This time I'm taking the y-axis. Let's say the displacement across the y-axis is y. Let me rewrite this. Uy and ay. See, initial velocity across the y-axis is u sine theta. Acceleration across the y-axis is acceleration due to gravity. Let's say our sign convention is up is positive, down is negative. You can take anything, your answer will be the same. So g will be minus. Now, when we make the equation and time we have already calculated from our first part. Time is x by u cos theta. x by u cos theta. So I think we have everything. We can use this equation. S is equal to ut plus half at square. So this is y, this is y, this is y. Okay, when you're talking about y-axis, everything will be in terms of y-axis. That's the only difference. If you studied motion in a straight line properly, then you will be able to solve this as well. So sy is equal to y, uy is u sine theta, t is x by u cos theta. This is a derivation. Okay, all these are derivations class. That's why I'm just keeping on solving them. These derivations come in your exam. Formula will be using. Minus ay is g by 2 t square. So x square by u square cos square theta. Okay. Now look, u will be cancelled. What is sine theta by cos theta class?
Tan theta.
Tan theta. Very good. Now Tahura, is it audible to her? Tahura? Yes, correct, tan theta. So y will be equal to x tan theta minus bx square by 2 u square cos square theta. Okay, this is the whole derivation for it. All right, this is the whole derivation for it. So yes, others, have you got this derivation? This is the equation of trajectory, means the total path covered, and this was the derivation for it. This is the equation of trajectory. Trajectory means the path covered. Tell me, is it clear? Mariam Sana?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, miss.
Okay, so do one thing, write down this part. Then after this, write the conditions, because those conditions will be used in every derivation. We have to derive lots of things. And then write the first derivation. Okay, please start writing. Just update me in the chat box so that I can scroll down. Okay, see, regarding the time of flight, time of flight basically means when the body has been released and it is coming back to the ground. So total time taken is known as the time period. Okay, so how will we calculate that? We'll make the equation y is equal to ut plus half at square. Now only y-axis I'm referring to. See, when the body comes back to the ground, across x-axis there is no displacement. Across y-axis there is no displacement, right? From here 0 to some point x it has moved, but there is no displacement across the y-axis. So that's why I'm using the equation of y. Y is equal to 0 because no displacement along y-axis. So uy is equal to u sine theta. All right. Ay, acceleration across the y-axis, this is equal to minus g. And so when we write the equation, 0 is equal to u sine theta. This is t. T is our time period. Let's say this small t, this is our time period. Okay, that is the capital T. So this is capital T minus half g t squared. So see, if this is 0, I can shift this term over this side. I can say half g t square is equal to u sine theta t. The 1 tt will be cancelled. So time period is equal to 2u sine theta by g. This is the formula. Okay, u is the initial velocity, remember, where u is your initial. This is the initial velocity. Is this clear? Time period? The formula?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, the displacement across the x-axis, it is known as the range of motion. This is known as the range of motion. It is the displacement, horizontal displacement covered in some time t. Means if this is the body's initial point, this is the final point, total displacement, but across x-axis only. Okay, because displacement has occurred across x-axis only. There is no displacement across y-axis, right? So the equation of r will be, see, across the x-axis, we'll make the whole equation. I'll write this. S is equal to ut plus half at square. So for x-axis, everything will be across x. Now see, acceleration across x-axis is 0. You've written it in the conditions if you see. So this whole term will be, this whole bracket, this will be 0. So we are just left with the displacement across the x-axis, ux, initial velocity across the x-axis, and the time. So let's say this is the range of motion. This is u, which is u sine u cos theta. The displacement, see, sx is equal to uxt. Ux is equal to u cos theta. Now, if we put it here, we can say range of motion is u cos theta. What is time? See, time we have calculated here, 2u sine theta by g. So if I put it, I can say 2u sine theta by g. All these are derivations, class. Okay, all of these are the derivations. So please practice these derivations carefully for the exam. Now look, I have r square, r is equal to u into u becomes u square. 2 is here, sine theta is here, and cos theta is here, right? 2u square cos theta sine theta by c. So see, 2 sine theta cos theta can be written as sine 2 theta. This is an identity. We can say 2 sine theta cos theta can be written as sine 2 theta. So if I use this identity, what will I get? R is equal to u square sine 2 theta by g. This is the formula of the range of motion. Range of motion means the horizontal displacement that has occurred. Did you get this derivation? How to find out the range of motion?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. See, there's a condition that often comes, the maximum range which is possible. If the formula says r is equal to u square sine 2 theta by g. So for R to be maximum, sine theta has to be maximum. Now sine 2 theta, sine theta can has its maximum value as 1 only, not more than that. So it means sine 2 theta is equal to 1. So when do we have sine theta as 1 class? For which value? When do we say sine dash is 1? Which angle class? What is sine 0? Yes, Sana?
0.
0, correct. So when do we have 1?
90 degree.
90 degree, exactly. So it means 2 theta is equal to 90 degree. So what is the value of theta? Theta is 45 degree. So at 45 degree angle, you get the maximum range. Now it's clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it? Mariam, what about you?
Yes, Miss, I also understood.
Okay. Ahura, are you able to hear now? Is your connection better? Ahura. Okay, anyways, class, write it till one more thing, complementary angle and all. No, this I'll tell you later. Just write it till here first. The time period. These are all derivations, and you have to remember all these derivations. And the formula, of course. Please write it. Is it written till here? 45 degrees? See if anyone's writing, just stop me. Nabiha, have you also copied? You joined late today?
Yeah, ma'am, I wrote whatever I could. I left some space.
Okay. See, when you have complementary angles, this question often comes, find out the range of motion for complementary angles. Okay. Let's say one angle is theta, other angle is 90 minus theta. So r theta will be u square sine 2 theta by g. So what will be r 90 minus theta? It will be u square sine 92 into 90 minus theta by g. Instead of theta, you will write 90 minus theta. So let's multiply 2 here with both of these. Let's open up the bracket. So r 90 minus theta will be u square sine 2 into 90 is 180 degree minus 2 theta. Okay, divided by g. Now there is one more identity of trigonometry that we'll use here. Sine 180 minus 2 theta is equal to 2 theta only. Sine 180 minus theta is actually equal to sine theta. So since it is 2 theta, we are also going to put this as 2 theta. 2 theta in the sense this will be equal to sine 2 theta. So look, what are we getting? R 90 minus theta as. This is u square sine 2 theta by g. And that's what our sine theta was. R theta was. So basically the complementary angles will give the same range of motion. R theta, R 90 minus theta. What are complementary angles? By the way, I'm using this term. I hope you all know the meaning. What is it? What are complementary angles, class? Yes, answer.
90 degree.
Whose sum is 90 degree? Yes. Like 30 degree and 60 degree. So if I have, let's say a body has been projected at an angle of, this is, let's say 60 degree. Or if you have 30 degree. Both of these will give you the same range of motion. This is what this derivation says. And this often comes to prove. Okay, r theta is equal to r 90 minus theta. All right, now when we talk about the height, what is height is, see, if we talk about this height, see when the body moves in a projectile manner. So this is what we refer to as the height. So this is known as the maximum height. So across y-axis and x-axis separately, we'll form our equations. So when we talk about the y-axis, we are going to use a third equation, v square minus u square is equal to 2as. Let me write this again. So this will be v square minus u square is equal to 2as. Now everything will be in terms of the y-axis because I am taking the y-axis. This is under my consideration. Why did I take y-axis? Because the displacement, the height is across the y-axis. That's why. Okay. So see, velocity at the highest point, Vy is 0. As I told you in one of the conditions. See the second condition of the y-axis. We wrote that velocity at the highest point is 0. Uy is equal to u sine theta, as we have already discussed, and ay is equal to minus g. So when we put in the equation, everything here, 0 minus, this is u square sine square theta is equal to 2 into minus g into the height. All right, the displacement is h. So see, minus will be cancelled and h is equal to u square sine square theta divided by 2. All these formula class you have to remember, these are the derivations. This is the height. Okay, now when will we get the maximum value? Now somebody else tells. Sana has answered a lot. Anyone else? When do we get sine theta as 1? You've already written. Now I hope you all will be able to tell. Yes, Mariam? When do we get sine theta as 1? For which value? Check the notes if you're forgetting. You have written this in the range. Mariam, you're there? Nabiha? When is sine theta 1? For which value?
Sine 30 degree, ma'am.
Sine 30 degrees half. Mariam, any idea? Mariam, you have written in your notes. At least answer a yes or no. You can't just shut the mic, class. You all keep your cameras off. In every batch, the cameras are on. And I have instructed this. So only one student answering in the whole class will not help. At least Nabia answered whatever she knew. So Mariam and Tahura, like this, you can't just keep the cameras and mic off. Mariam, you are very interactive. At least just respond with a yes or a no.
Yes,
Okay.
Miss, I'm here.
You are here. So any idea? You have written it in your notes. Just see the notes where you had written R maximum value, ranges maximum value. What angle was there? What angle was that? For which value was sine theta 1? Trigonometry,
90.
everybody will revise. Yes, 90 degree. Now got it? Sine 90 is 1. Others and everybody, just revise the trigonometric values 1. Few angles. Revise only few angles. Revise 0 degree, 30 degree, 45 degree, 60 degree, and 90 degree for sine, cos, and tan. Okay, sine, cos, and tan. These will be used and helpful in your physics. Okay. So yes, as rightly answered by Mariam, this is sine 90 degree is equal to 1. It means theta is equal to 90 degree over here. All right, you have theta's value as 90 degree. So what will be the maximum height then? Maximum height will be u square by 2g. That is the value of the maximum height. Okay. Now last is velocity. With that, I'll discuss few questions with you. And that will complete with the angular projection and we'll be only left with horizontal projection. Please write it till here. Have you all understood now properly? The derivations, these are all derivations.
Yes, ma'am.
What about others? Nabiha, Mariam, Tahura, understand?
Yes,
All right. If there's any doubt in between, please ask. Okay, till here you have written, please write it. written till here? Should I scroll down? So, Mariam, your exams are starting from 26th September, no? This is confirmed?
Yes, miss.
This part is confirmed. Exact date is not confirmed, right? But
Yeah.
this has been confirmed from your school that the exams will start from 26th?
Yes, miss.
Okay. No, because I have to prepare you accordingly, no? That's why I just wanted to know. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Are you done, class? Can we move forward?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So now the last point, velocity at any instant. Class, please practice these derivations. They come as it is in your exam, and the formula, of course. Formula part, you'll find it easy, but the derivations are a little lengthy. See, velocity at any instant for the x-axis, it will be ux plus axt. Now ax is 0. So vx is equal to ux, that is u cos theta. That is the velocity across the x-axis. Now y component, vy is equal to uy. Uy is u sine theta minus gt. So this is the equation. So see, one velocity is across the x-axis, other velocity is across the y-axis. Remember when we did the vectors part, I told you the net vectors is given by if 90 degrees there. See, angle between x and y is 90 degree. So it will be vx square plus vy square. So what is your net velocity? Vx is u cos theta. So square of this plus what is vy? U sine theta minus gt. So this is equal to under root this whole term. This is the velocity, total velocity. Am I clear? Have
Yes,
you all
ma'am.
understood the whole concept, time, period, the trajectory, range of motion, height, velocity? These are the 5 derivations that come. And velocity one is the easiest because you don't have to remember a formula as such. You just write down the equations along x-axis, y-axis, calculate the net vector. Conditions you have already written. Now coming to the question, before coming to the question, complete velocity. Write down this velocity part as well. Then we'll practice some questions based on this. Okay. Done?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So let us just practice numericals. Conditions you already have written. See, it says that a cricket ball is thrown at a speed of 28 meter per second in a direction 30 degree above the horizontal. So initial velocity is 28 meter per second. Theta is 30 degree. And see, first, but this is a formula based question. It says find the maximum height. So u square sine square theta by 2 g. See, that's why you need to remember all the formula. U square means 28 into 28. Sine square theta. See, sine 30 is half. When you square it, if you take square, you will have to square this two. That makes it 1 by 4.
1 by 4.
Very good. So this is 1 by 4 divided by 2g. Now see class, it's not mentioned here. I'll write it. If not stated, I have told you a lot of times, don't use g as 10. I'll just make it here, mark it here to take g as 10 meter per second square. Otherwise, don't use it. Okay, use 9.8. Your marks might lose on. So 28 square into 1 by 80. This you can solve. This much meter will be the answer. Solving part you can do later. Let's just practice. Second is the time of flight. Time of flight is 2u sine theta by g. This is 2 into 28 into sine theta. Sine theta means sine 30 degree, that is half by 10. So this 2 will be cancelled. That is 2.8 seconds. Third part says range of motion. So range of motion is equal to u square sine 2 theta divided by g. See, u square is 28 square sine 2 into 30 degree, right? 2 theta by 10. So this makes it 28 square. And see, 2 into 30 is 60. Sine 60 degrees, root 3 by 2 by 10, this much of meter. So see class, you need to remember and recall the trigonometric function. So whoever is forgetting, that's okay. But you have done it in your 10th class. So when you will revise, it will just take 5 to 10 minutes. You don't even need to open your NCERT books of class 10th. Though there is a table in your 10th class book in Introduction to Trigonometry. Either revise from there or just Google all this, type all these things in Google, and just remember, because this will be used throughout. For the net velocity, first we need Vx, that is u cos theta. U is 28 cos 30 degree, that is 28 root 3 by 2, which is equal to 14 root 3 meter per second. This is Vx. Then we talk about Vy, which was u sine theta minus gt. All these things we have already written. So u is 28, sine 30 degrees half, minus g is 10, and t from here is 2.8. So this is equal to 14 minus this is 28. So you have to take the modulus, because no, you can't take it. This is velocity. It can be negative. You can put it, which is minus 14 meter per second. Right? So this is Vx, Vy. So for the net value, when you square, it will come positive only. This will be 14 root 3 whole square plus minus 14 whole square meter per second. That will be your final answer. Did you understand how to use the formula?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, please practice the derivations. We have the next class now on Saturday only. Yeah, so on Saturday, I'll then discuss with you. Please write down this question. I think that's all for today. Angular projection is over. Similarly, less than I think 1 hour will be required for your horizontal projection. So understand the angular one first. Horizontal is very easy than this, because no angle is there, no resolution of vectors, nothing. Write it.
Ma'am, which chapter are we going to take after this chapter?
Which chapter?
Yeah.
Laws of motion? I'll start laws of motion in the next class only. And if you all get the schedule of your exams, please update me likewise. Mariam has already updated. Tahura, Sana, if you also get the confirmed date or when the exams are starting or what's the syllabus at least, because I have to prepare you accordingly. Like if one chapter is left, so I'll call you separately. Like this, we have to make the arrangement because it's September and now the exams are starting. So I have to complete a major portion with all of you.